Forging a knife out of cable damascus billet this morning. Actually, by now it's probably afternoon. It's been a rainy day here, but we're enjoying it. It's always good when we can get in the forge. Also working on a little Viking knife. Hammering out the handle. Already got a little scroll tip in there. About to shape it around. And I'll harden the blade in a nice bright orange heat. It's going to end up being a drop point again, just like my other one. Not sure what I'll do with the handle yet. And in a little bit, after I get pretty good progress on that, I'll probably do a little more on that gladius. So far, all in all, I've got about 40 minutes in the roughing and the bevels on the gladius, and probably another 10-15 minutes hammering in that tang on it. And it's not looking too bad. Still got a little bit more cleaning up to do on the bevels. And then I'll come in and grind the finishing all on it. I'll drill the holes for the pins. I may decide to punch them, and then I will work on putting in the fuller, then I'll harden and temper. So there's still a good bit of progress to be made on that. And hammering in the tip, starting to get the profile of the blade. See, working on getting it all to the same thickness, hammering in some of the basic shape. Then when I get ready to do the bevels, I'll bring it over and hammer it down over to create a curve, so when I hammer out the bevels, it'll straighten the spine back out. Seen a video on DP in the Forge where he made a ruler that clamped onto the top of his anvil. I really liked it, so I made me one as well, although mine's strictly in inches, and it's something that I can easily clamp on to measure my knives and stuff like that, and other pieces that I'm working on. So really appreciate the video he did on that, and I have to give credit where credit's due. probably go ahead and hammer in the tang in just a second. The thing with carbon steels like this 1084 cable and stuff and all, if you get too much into a bright yellow, you'll actually burn it up, which does nothing but weaken the steel and ruins it. And then you've wasted all the time that you put into hammering out everything. Let's see what we can do here. See where we're starting to get the reset tang, and then as I get it upset back into itself more, I'll hammer it, thin it back out, keep it relatively straight to where we'll work for the same thickness all the way across. And when I get to where it looks like I've got a nice 4.5 inch, 5 inch handle tang, we'll start on the bevels. On this part, I'm actually using my cross peen to upset this back more, start giving the offset. And then as I hammer in the bevels on the edge side, it'll actually broaden the blade a little bit more and give more of a depth difference between the two. Almost got that one too hot, so gotta be careful on that. See, hammered it back to the same thickness as the blade itself, starting to get a nice about 3 inches there. May decide to step in a little bit more on that blade. Is when I start hammering out the bevels and all, it'll lengthen and everything just a little bit. And that way I don't have to get back so much here into the end of the welded on the end of the cable. This is that part that a lot of beginning bladesmiths end up with knives that curl up and everything, and also you've got sweat points instead of drop points, or recurves. When you start to hand hammer in bevels, you want to turn the spine down toward the tip. So when you hammer in the bevels, it'll start to push it all back up and straighten things back up for you. You'll end up with a good knife that way. Nice straight spine, exactly what you're looking for. So we'll heat that up. And see how she turns out. Whenever you can, you want to have something like a piece of rebar or a long enough piece of steel to where you can actually handle it with proper protective equipment. Gives you a little bit more control versus the tongs. Now if you've got tongs, a good set of tongs is actually fitted to the piece of metal that you're working and everything. They work really well. Personally, I like to, whenever possible, have a piece of steel off the end where I can handle it a lot easier and not have to worry so much about using the tongs. Starting a hammer in the bevels. You can see it's already starting to push it back up. Known steels that I order for my knives, things like that. I order from Admiral Steel. I found they have a pretty good price. Right decent deal on shipping. If you're not at the stage where you can afford or feel comfortable enough with spending a good bit of money on actual known steel, you can always look for leaf springs, coil springs, actual shafts, things like that. And you can always look online, find charts that tell you what type of steel those are, and work from there. Already got it to a nice orange heat. Let's see. Section I'm going to be working. Nice. Finishing work as I do the light taps. I'm just knocking out some of the roughness. As you can see there, pretty good silhouette for a drop point, and hopefully still got a little straightening out to do here. Got a nice start on the taper. Hopefully you can see the difference between the hand hammered edge. I will heat it up a little bit more and see if I can't thin that out a little bit more by hammering. For that, I'll let the heat soak into it for a minute. Pardon my hens, she's upset that I'm in here and she can't get to her spot to lay her egg. So she's fussing at me. Pick up the heat just a little bit. You don't want to end up heating metal up too fast. You want to make sure the heat soaks all the way through before you work it. Or else you can cause some internal issues that you won't see on the outside. Yeah, got the blade edge up to a nice orange. Finish it out a little bit. Lower temperature, I can finish things out. I'll get some more heat back in it and take and thin the tang out a little bit more to where it matches the thickness of the blade. See there, pretty straight. Good start on the bevels. I'll have minimal cleanup when I grind in the plunge line and finish on that. My hand's about 4 inches wide, so I've got at least a good full 4 inches there for a handle. May clean up this little bit right here with a file. Give me a little bit more than that. Got about an inch to an inch and a quarter width on the blade. This ought to turn out nice. On that note, I'm going to break for my breakfast, well, lunch. It's actually my first meal of the day, so either one you want to call it. Shut down the forge. Break my coals out. Let them cool down so that I waste as little fuel as possible. Plus, at the same time, breaking the hot coals over the green coal, the coke coal over the green coal will actually help heat out some of the impurities. Y'all have a blessed one, and I'll see you later on.